Hey YouTube, Parson Rick here. Just got back from a ride. So Gribs, this is 100-mile beard. I'll get 150 in here for you soon. God bless. Hey YouTube, Parson Rick here. It's a beautiful Sunday late afternoon. Had to work today. Miss Chris got to go on a motorcycle ride, but I did not. We went one yesterday. So that was pretty good. Getting my pipe ready here. Did have a cleaner in it this time, so today looks like it'll be the last of the GLP's Odyssey, or the last bit anyway, before it gets adulterated with something else. It's been a pretty good smoke. I've enjoyed it. I think I let it get a little dry and rubbed it out a little too fine. Plus, it's the pipe is the 7LE626, and it calls for a filter. And I took the filters out. It probably would be better with it in there. But so I suck up little bits and pieces all the time, and well, there's maybe another bowl left in there. So that's not all that pleasant, but I'm still just learning stuff. See, a mouthful of tobacco flakes. Very nice. So the 7LE626, my son bought this for me when I first started pipe smoking. Still one of my favorites for that reason, if none other. Had a pretty busy weekend. Didn't work yesterday. We had some bike stuff going on, and I needed to work on some of the machines when they were down today. So I went in. Today's the down day, generally. Got a few hours of work in. Chris went for a ride, but I was talking to you guys about how expensive property was the other day, and I made the mistake of looking at one of my stock portfolios the other day, and I'm getting kind of tired of losing money. And I've got a few different accounts, none of which amount to anything. But my grandmother had lost everything in the stock market in the 80s. There was a Black Monday. Don't remember what year it was, 80 something. And she went from being a pretty well-off lady. My grandfather had owned a logging and heavy equipment company. And the guy that was taking care of my grandmother's money panicked and sold everything off for zero. So she went from being a fairly well-to-do matron of their local area to living on toast. My My mom has lost half of her portfolio twice now. And in Tom Clancy's book, Debt of Honor, he talks about uh, money just being opinion. And it's certainly true of the stock market. It's just somebody's opinion on what those stocks are worth, and it changes. It's volatile. It's not quite the blue chip steadiness that it used to be. And so I started thinking, instead of watching my imaginary money, and this was real money. It was money that I had saved and then put into this stock account. Um, Instead of watching it disappear, which is what I'm doing, I had to buy something. Oh, started, I could do the sensible thing and I could pay off my house. But I've got more equity than I've got debt in it, and if I keep working, uh, I'm 60, so I can expect to work till 67 at least before Social Security kicks in, and the and then what I do for a living. As long as I am able to think, I'm able to do it. So there's no reason for me to quit earning at a certain age. And one of the retirements I already draw will make my mortgage payment. So it's not really a concern. Um, we have another house that my wife inherited, and it's free and clear. So I started thinking about real property, and definitely a tangible asset and one that's a very finite availability. So I started looking, and I was thinking just, you know, some uh, some RV property, some recreational property, speculating on a lot in a subdivision is just pure opinion. We've got a lot of areas around here that, yeah, they've seen huge growth. I mean, our property values have skyrocketed, and but some of the up and coming towns haven't hit that spot yet, and there's a whole lot of speculated subdivisions that have been cleared and approved and ready to go, and they're just sitting there with nothing to show for it. So I'm not too tempted to do that, but I've found some good, like, remote properties, 80 acres for 15 grand and stuff like that, in places that I used to have been, could have got 1,000 acres for the same price. But we just looked at one. It's over on the coast on a lake, and it's only accessible by boat. It's 5 acres, only accessible by boat, but the boat's included for the $30,000. That might be interesting. And we'll see. So Miss Chris and I went up yesterday and looked at a piece of property. It was, you knew something was wrong with it. It was an acre on the river, and it was the only undeveloped acre on that river. Everybody else, that they were 1 acre minimum parcels, and they had houses on all of them. Well, the reason why is because there's highline wires going right through it with the whole easement for Bonneville. And I looked at that and I thought, well, there's really no room to put a house on there because it kind of diagonals the property. But you do have uh, quite a significant stretch of river frontage. You have to build a ladder down to it or something. It's 10 feet below you. But it's really nice. And it's been up for sale and sold, and up for sale and pulled, and up to several times. So there's always a catch. And if the catch is that it's got this highline wire and the easement, and the easement's probably 80 feet wide, 100 feet wide, something like that. Well, the entire depth of the property, all the way from the street to the river, they've already put in a road for the equipment. And then they cut the underbrush, it's Scotch broom and blackberries. They cut the underbrush back 20 or 30 feet on each side. So let's see, $30,000 for an acre on a very nice river with a road, and somebody else maintains the property. That's not a bad idea. So I gotta look into that and see what else is wrong with the property, and then found a few places with water. I would like places with water, but 2/3 of Oregon is a desert, and there's still a lot of water, a lot of property over there. And the one I looked at today, the 15,000 for the 80 acres, it's remote, so you got to have a 4-wheel drive to get into it. There's roads, but they're rough, and it does have water, and you can use it. A lot of times you can't use the water, so that's what we've been doing. So if you're in Oregon and you know of any cheap watery land, let me know, because we're looking. Oh my goodness, look at my time. So God bless you. Parks and Rec out.